So let me share my screen and then we'll get into this here. Let me get a thumbs up or something if you guys can see my screen. Good. Good, 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 good. All right.
Yes.
All right, all right, all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to like a blank screen, like you would be going into Google in general, right? And if you see over here, these emblems over here, if you click the picture of yourself or your initial or your logo, whatever you have in that box, when you click that, that will open up like this, where you can see your kind of your Google account, if that makes any sense. Now I'm going to use another one of my accounts here to do this. So still you see this over here, but it's just a logo for me. So I'm gonna click on that logo, and then down here where it says manage your account, and then up here it says admin console, right? So where it says admin console, oh, I dropped it, hold on. Where it says admin console, that's where you wanna click. And then it's gonna ask me for my email address, and I'm gonna choose the account that I wanna use before I put the email address in there. So once you get into your account this way, you will be able to go over here to your sidebar and see something that says apps. If you click on apps and drop down, you will see additional Google services. So the people who have not gotten into Gemini, you may not have this turned on yet. So when you click on additional Google services, it is going to show you everything that's on or off. Now, mine is going to be on, but yours may be off. So I'm going to show you how to cut it on. If you scroll down, and in the email that I sent, it lets you know it's the 13th application. It says Gemini right here. You're going to click the box to the left. Mine says on, but yours may say off for everyone. So I want you to click on where this box, and then at the top in the right-hand corner where it says on, you're going to click on, and it will turn it on. You're going to have a box that pops up that says turn on. Once you turn that on, then your Gemini will be active. Then when you go back to Gemini and refresh your screen, it should say welcome, or I don't know whether it's going to say good morning or welcome or whatever it's going to say, but it's going to let you know that you can actively use it, and you'll know how it looks because I am about to go to Minds, and I'm gonna go to a new chat. So you see how it says hello, Coach Dunbar. Yours should say hello, however you're titled to Gemini. So guys, this is Gemini. You can hide this bar if you want to. I'm gonna show you a couple of settings so that you guys understand how to do certain things, because what I'm gonna get into first with it, I want you to understand the settings. Over here on the bottom left, you're gonna have a setting button. Click on that. If you want your Gemini to be in dark mode because you've been looking at a computer all day and you want it to be a darker screen, for those that like to have that, you know what I mean? You probably do it on your cell phone as well. Just go right on ahead and click that like this. And then you can turn it to dark screen, or you can click it back and take it off a dark screen, if that makes sense. Then you also have real-time responses. If this is off, it should be on by default. But if it's off for any reason, turn it on so that you're getting real-time responses when you're doing everything. And then here's just your public links. If you have any of those, I'm not going to get into that right now because that's going to be a little bit complicated for people who are newer. Extensions. I want you guys to cut these on. You can cut them off later if you want to, but cut them on because I'm going to show you how to do some more simplistic things in Gemini for life and business, how to use Gemini to start prompting to do certain things that you need to have done so your everyday productivity can be a little bit easier. So the extension, if you click extension, it'll pull up these right here. It's only going to give you 5. Google Flights, Google Hotels, Google Maps, YouTube, and Google Workspace. Google Workspace is your ecosystem. So what that is it's literally showing you in this ecosystem exactly what your what you have access to with Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Gmail. Right. So, and I'm going to show you how to search those things with it. If you're looking to go out of town, plan a trip, Google Flights will help you there. Google Hotels, if you're looking for a hotel, Google Maps, if you're trying to figure out where to go. So all of these things, if you turn them on, when you hit at hotels or at a location or at flight, it will pull up flights relative to whatever you're looking for. And for those of you all who have such a hard time looking for things in your Gmail, you can come here and locate things in your Gmail instead of looking through your Gmail in a regular search and not being able to find things. So this may be an easier route for you. Also, for those that use YouTube, if you're looking for specific videos, you can use the @YouTube and it will help you find the video you're looking for on YouTube. So this is allowing you to operate a lot of different items within one platform, so you're not jumping around and trying to find things. So again, productivity, it helps you move at a speed where you can keep up with things a little bit better and not have to jump around as much. And I know, because I talk to so many people all the time, I know that two of the biggest ones are Google, your Gmail account, and looking for specific videos on YouTube where I'll show you how to use this to help with that. So make sure you cut those extensions on so that you have access to them. I'm on Gemini Advanced. You don't need to be here. I don't suggest anybody pay for it. I have a few paid Google accounts, so I'm already kind of paying for it. If you're not, it's not a whole bunch more that it will do for you. So I would not suggest you going in and paying for Gemini Advanced unless you're a coder and you're looking to do coding. And if that's the case, you are probably not on here with us today. So I would just keep the regular Gemini. You don't need to upgrade. You don't need to spend any money. This is a free platform for you to do what you need to be doing. So I'm gonna go back to.
When you said at YouTube, where does the at YouTube go in order to find that specific YouTube video that we were looking for?
I'll show you. I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to do it live, so you'll see what. Yeah, you're going to definitely see where you would do that at. So on the settings here again, guys, I just want to make sure y'all guys knew that was there. Remember, dark theme, extensions, real-time responses. You want those to be on. Right. And then we know that this is your general platform. This is for you to start a new chat. Keep in mind with AI, specifically Gemini, because we're staying in Gemini. I know you guys know about GPT and Perplexity and all these other platforms, but we're just sticking with Gemini today. So for the new chat, keep in mind, Google Gemini is your personal assistant. You probably saw that in my emails. Whenever you're keeping the same conversation, keep it in the same chat. If you're deciding that you want to have a conversation about something else, if you're trying to figure out where you're going to go on vacation, that's one chat. If you are now saying, I need to create an email to send to a customer about a circumstance, you want to start a new chat, because everything in that chat that's relative, when it's talking back to you, it is sticking to that topic. Does that make sense to everybody? So I want you guys to understand that so that you don't jump around for the wrong reasons and leave a conversation where that personal assistant is already having a continued conversation on that particular subject. If you want to see the things that you're already working on, you can click this and it'll open up everything that you have here on the side. You can also pin things. A lot of people don't know that in Gemini, you can pin particular topics. So if I'm testing something, if I'm playing around with something, or I'm working on a particular project, I can go ahead and pin it. So if you see on the left-hand side, if I scroll down and I go to something like Lion chronotype, I'm going to click that and I'm going to open that up as a subject that I was doing some work on, right? So if I was working on this and I knew for the next couple of hours or the next couple of days, I wanted to stay in this place and work on this particular work, I'm going to go ahead and go to these three dots on the right-hand side. I'm going to click these three dots and I'm going to click pin. Once I click pin, it will allow me to put an emoji here, which will help me recognize that particular piece of work that I'm working on. Now, this is about lion chronotype, so I have a picture of a lion here. If I click this edit button, it will allow me to choose a different emoji if I want to, and I can choose whatever emoji that I would like to choose. That will be relative, that I will remember this particular work that I'm working on once I choose that emoji. If I want to pin it, I'm going to click pin. If I want to change the title, I can come here and I can change what it says here if you want to change the name of it. Because remember, when you start a new chat, Gemini is going to name the chat for you. You may not like the name that it chose. So you can go in here and you can rename it yourself. And then once you rename it and you click pin, you're now going to pin that. And you see what it did here? It pinned it to the top. So now I can go up, I can go here and find it, as opposed to go scrolling down and looking into all of the other research that I've done previously before now. So it just keeps it right at the top for you, so that you're comfortable with it. So now let me go over and show you guys like how to do like the YouTube or the Gmail, things like that, so you have a little bit of a better idea on how to use that. So I'm gonna go ahead to testing for training, and I'm gonna click on that. And let's say that I was looking for a specific email from somebody. So I said, and I know Nancy, you just asked a question about YouTube. So I'm going to just use you for an example because I just spoke to you a minute ago. So let's say that I wanted to research my email, but I was looking for an email from Nancy, and I get a lot of emails from Nancy. So I don't know where to look for the email. I don't know how to use my search bar really good in my Gmail account. I can come into my Gemini account and I can say, please locate emails, right? And you see how I put emails here? Let's not use emails. Let's say at Gmail. See what that did? It pulled it up. I click on that. Please locate at Gmail from Nancy Wolf. If I knew a title, if I knew any more specifics about that email, I could put that information in here and it would help locate it a little bit better. So now that I've said that, and you can be way more detailed than this. I'm just doing this quick because for the sake of time, I want to do things in a manner that it's a little bit faster. And again, it's recording, so you'll be able to go back and look at it. So typically what will happen too in Gemini, see how it's pulling up Google Workspace, is letting you know that it is now searching the Google ecosystem from not my email particularly, but everything Google concerning me. That could be my Google Docs, that could be my Google emails, that can be anything. So it says I found several emails from Nancy Wolf concerning Medicare, and it's letting me know, right, what those emails contained in them, right? And now say I want to find those emails. Now it's taking me to where I can go to those emails. You guys see that? Now it's literally locating the emails, and I can click on it. It's letting me to know the date that it came. I can click on that particular email, and it will literally take me to Gmail to that particular email. Right? So it's helping me do that without me being there. And whether it was a Google Doc I was looking for, anything I was looking for. So it's literally giving me the information from the email, the date that it came, and I can click on any of these areas, and it will particularly take me to that email. And I'm going to do the same thing here with YouTube. So to what Nancy was saying when she said, so if I say, please assist me in locating videos on tax preparation I hit the ad again, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna click YouTube. And I click this. And again, if I've done it correctly, it'll pull up the extension, let us know that it's using the extension. And then it's going to now locate videos on, and I said tax, but I left the X out. So it's doing something else, TA preparation, whatever that is. But it doesn't matter because I wasn't really looking for that anyway. What it did was whatever you're looking for, if you say at YouTube, it is now going to pull up YouTube videos in relation to whatever that topic is. Now, instead of you going to YouTube and being in the YouTube's ecosystem, you can do that right from because you may be planning on taking notes. You may be looking to summarize a video from YouTube. And if you're looking to summarize a video from YouTube, you can actually use this to summarize a video from YouTube and do it right here without having to go to YouTube, grab the link, come back, Right? We're cutting down productivity. We're cutting down. We're creating a workflow by saying, I'm using this as a work center to do what I need to do. Right? Same thing here. If I was looking, if I say, I am looking to go to Puerto Rico in June, and I would like to find the most inexpensive at flights. See that? At pulls it up. I click Google Flights, right? I would like to find the most inexpensive flights from Jacksonville, Florida. Now I click, and if I did it correctly, again, it'll show me here that is using that extension that I tried to get it to use. See, it's showing me it's using Google Flights, and now it's going to deliver the information based on it pulling it from Google Flights.
And when you type the information in, Coach, you don't put everything together without spacing. You can at Google is together, but you can space between Google and flights.
Oh, you don't even have to do that, because when you click at, it's going to pull up the options and just click the option.
Gotcha.
So you don't even have to type it. Just whatever it is you're looking for. If you're looking for something in Google Docs, click Google Docs. Google Drive, click Google Drive. So the easiest way to do it is just put at, let the extensions pull up, and then choose the one in reference to what you're looking to do.
Got it.
That's going to be the best way for you to do it. So now it's pulling up the price of the flights, whether it's nonstop or one stop, the time. And again, these are all clickable, guys. So if I click on any of these, it's now going to take me to the actual source. So I can go look at other flights, and it'll show me other flights when I get there as well. So this is very convenient, whether it's life or business. If you're planning a trip, if you're saying, hey, I want to know the best restaurants to go to when I go to Las Vegas. Well, when you're saying the best restaurants to go to in Las Vegas, then you're going to do at maps and say best restaurants, and it is going to locate restaurants in that city based on Google Maps. So what you're doing is you're allowing this to do that research for you by just using that @ sign. And this is why I like to use Gemini, because it has the extensions to make life easier for you, right? And if you want to play with this in the beginning and say, hey, I want to play around with this for a little bit. What I love also about Gemini is it gives you a way to start understanding prompting. Because what I'm gonna get into here in a second is really understanding prompt, because you have to know how to prompt it to give you the right response. So I was just having a conversation with a partner that I work with, Kyle, and we were talking about the idea of people using it for plagiarism and stealing information. And guys, don't let people doing the wrong thing with something discourage you from using it. There are people who drink and drive. There are people who misuse every positive thing you can think of. They're going to misuse this. If you are using this in a positive way, if you are implementing yourself into this, it will not be plagiarism. It will not be copied information. It will be you. I did a boot camp, I think in September, and there's a couple people on here now that was in that boot camp where I show people how to actually write an ebook, an AI-powered ebook, but those ebooks have them in them. So when they let people look at the content that they were creating, their friends, their family said, this sounds like you, because it's all in how you prompt it and how you use it. We are not going to AI and say, write me a leadership book. That's not how you do that. We prompt it, we create an outline, we put ourselves and what our knowledge is into that specific book so that it's written. What we want AI to do is do the mundane work of writing out the material, outlining for us, helping us do some research and then sourcing the research. That's what we want AI to do. We don't want AI to do things that will get us jammed up because we're just being lazy and just pulling down any information and using it. That's why it's important to have knowledge in what it is that you're doing, right? So this will give you an opportunity to learn how to use it as a prompt. These are examples. So if you click help me understand Shakespeare, What Gemini will do was allow you to replace that with whatever topic that you want so that you learn how prompting can help you. So if I click this, it now drops this down here. I'm taking the introductory college level Shakespeare course. We are studying Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. I'm not relating to the play, and the language is too old-timey. Create a single scene that reworks a critical moment of the play to a modern setting, where instead of being commander of Rome, Julius is a trending influencer. Include citations to indicate exact scene adapted from the play, right? Now you see how they did this? This is showing you how to prompt. So if you wanted to do something that was similar to this, all you would do is replace the words. That's why they have this highlighted, right? So I could replace introductory college level with whatever words I wanted to. This is showing you a framework so that you learn how to use AI to do what you want it to do. So this is basically showing you, this is how you would ask AI to do this for you. Who would ever think that you can go to this system, ask it to do exactly what this says here, and to get a response? So if I go ahead and click submit, because I'm going to use the example that they gave here and see what it does, and it will lay this out in a very professional manner, and then you can change some things about it if you chose to. So it's giving me what I asked for here laid out, right? Modern influencer twist. Julius, formerly Julius Caesar, the most popular kid in the school, charismatic, a little arrogant, and addicted to the spotlight. Like Cassius, Brutus, Mark Antony, Soothsayer, right? These are all characters. And what they're doing, you see what it says, scene inspired by Act 1, Scene 2 of Shakespeare's original. So it's giving you all these details that you asked for in that prompt. Let's say that this was too much information. I can now come down here to any of these prompts and change some things. I can say, modify this response, right? I want it to be shorter, or I want it to be longer. I want it to be simpler. I want it to be more casual. I want it to be more professional. If I click that, it will literally rewrite it for me the way that I asked it to. So these pre-prompts, what I call them, that are here, if you're not really familiar with Gemini, or you're still kind of touch and go with AI, I would suggest playing around with the pre-prompts first, so you get used to, right, seeing how it works before you start putting things in here yourself. That would be the same way I would suggest a person go to the gym for 30 minutes twice a week instead of going 2 hours, 5 days a week and scaring yourselves to death because you're so sore you don't want to go back. Does that make sense to everybody? So what we're doing here is saying, let's play with it a little bit at a time and not get so complicated that it makes our head spin. Now our head is spinning and we don't want to go back because it's causing anxiety for us, right? So this is what we're trying to prevent. And this is what Gemini is doing by allowing you to play with it this way. Now, remember I said this is your personal assistant? Same thing. If you had a personal assistant and they did something for you, what would you say back to them? Everybody put in the chat what you would say to a person who did a favor. You had a personal assistant. I need you to write something up for me. What would you say to that person after they wrote it for you? Same thing here, right? I'm going to go here. I'm going to click good response. Why was it a good response? It was easy to understand. And then I'm going to say, thanks for the great response. Why? I know this sounds weird because it's a machine, but understand, when you say thank you, when you say good response, you are now catering this AI system because now it knows what you like and it will give you more of what you like. Does that make sense? This is very important when it comes to using AI. Always talk to AI like you would talk to a person. So I'm going to click submit, and now it knows that it was a good response. Well, something that I didn't show you is how you can share it, and also that it gave me more than one response. This is another reason why I move more toward the Gemini AI than I do the other ones. So some people like to have options. So it gave me a response, but within that response, it also showed me that I have other drafts. So if you guys see this here, I can now click show drafts, and it will show me 2 other drafts outside of the one that I just looked at. Now I can choose between the 3. Now, typically what I do is I take all 3 drafts and I merge them together. I take things that I like out of one draft into another, and I recreate it based on those drafts. So it's got draft 1, 2, and 3. I can now click draft 2, and it's giving me a different draft. So you may like draft 2 better than you like draft 1. You might like draft 3 better than you like draft 2. Or you may be like me and say, I'm going to take all 3 of them, click the share button, and export it to Google Docs. Another reason why I love using this system is because now, again, what did we say? Productivity, getting things done faster, being able to go from A to B faster using AI. Once I have got something created for myself, I don't have to copy and paste and go to a document and create it. I can go right to export to docs, click export to docs. On the bottom left-hand side, it's going to show me creating a document. If I click open docs, it will literally go right into Google Docs and it will drop the information that I just put right into a form for me. And if I wanted to share this, right, with anybody else, I could, right? So if I said, okay, here's the document that I just put up, but guess what? I want to share it, and I'll share it with somebody that I know will be in my system, right? I can go right over here now and click share. And once I do this, now all I'm doing is sharing it with whoever else I want to. And just that quickly, I can go here and I can put, right? I can put my business partner Harold in here and click here. And guess what? The document that I just created in AI, in Gemini, I just pulled it over to Google Docs with one click. And now I'm going to share it with Harold Branch. And when I click that, he's going to have access to it immediately. And if he makes any changes to this document, it'll change on my side too. And this is why it's productivity. It could be a shared document you're doing. It could be a presentation that you're putting together with somebody else. So this allows you to go in and do it quick, swift, and get things done. And then I can save it in whatever folder I would like to. I can go right up here to this folder. I can click this folder up here, and I can drop this document into a folder that I've already created, or I can go ahead and create a folder for that document. And now I'll pull that document out of AI, secured it in my Google Docs, and saved it in here as a document that I can go back and do things with whenever I choose. So this really will help you move through your day faster, depending on what it is you're doing when you're going through your day. So going back here, again, I can click this and I can also draft it in the email. So let's say that this was an email that I had drafted. So let's take an email, and I'm not even going to use it to respond. I'm just going to say, can you please write an email write a general email expressing my condolences for the loss of one of a client's patients. The patient died of heart attack, and I would like to send an empathetic email to Arancia because it was her client. I ain't picking on you, Arancia. I just see you on my little picture down there. Can you do this for me? See what it does. Now, the more details you put in there, the more it'll write. So if I had the information on the person, the email for the person, if I had the name of that person's client, if I put the name of my company in there and said it was coming from my company, it will put all of that in there. I just didn't because, again, for the sake of time, I don't want to spend too much time detailing because I could be moving on to something different. So I just want you guys to see something, right? Dear Arancia, I was so saddened to learn of the passing of your client. My heart goes out to you and their loved ones during this difficult time. A sudden loss like this is always a shock, and I can only imagine how hard it must be, right? See how I wrote that email? Now, if I wasn't okay with it writing it that way, I can click on here and I can make it longer if I wanted to. Now, sure, that was much longer, but maybe it is a couple of words longer. You can also say how many words you want in it. So you can say 1,000 characters, 500 characters. You can say that and it will write it out for that many characters if you chose to, if you was that specific about it. Now I have this written. What if I wanted to share this in the email? I can click share and I can click draft in Gmail, and it is now going to take this email, go to my Gmail, and get ready for me to send it out. Again, productivity, guys, workflow. Go here, create the email, have AI create the email, draft it in Gmail, right? Click it here so it'll draft it in Gmail. It'll pull up right over here, open Gmail. When I click that, it takes me to my Gmail. Email is ready to go. All I have to do is put who it's going to. If I want to drop my signature on that email, I can, because right here it's just got it like this. So if I went into my Gmail, I would then just drop my signature in there because it wasn't in there, because I did not give it enough information to actually do that. So when you start doing this throughout your day, you're cutting down minutes on every project, and throughout your workflow is going so much faster. You're getting through your day so much easier. So now it's here for me. It's got this here for the subject, so I can go ahead and change that subject to whatever I want. I can just change the subject and say, my condolences, right? And then I'm gonna send it to Arancia, pull her in there because she's in my contacts already. And now I don't have a signature down here, right? Because it says your name. It's just letting me know I need to have my name there. So, and this is another training for another day. So the training that is on, I think it's May 7th. Yeah, next month, May 7th. And I've got the registration inside of this training. On May 7th, I am going to do an hour-long free training on organizing your emails and creating a workflow inside of Gmail so that you can move a lot swifter in what you're doing when you send the emails, and so you won't have email anxiety. But now I'm gonna go here to my signature pin, because I already have signatures in here, and I'm gonna click my signature, right? And then I'm gonna choose whatever signature, right? If it was a PPLSI situation, I'm gonna click that. If it was a life and business GPS section, which is another one of my companies, I'm gonna do that. If it's one of my seminars, I'm gonna click that. Right? If it's from my assistant, I'm gonna click that. So I can choose any one of my signatures, and it's gonna drop my signature down here for me, right? If I want it to match, obviously I don't want the text to be bigger here than here. I'm just gonna simply go over my text and click normal and drop it down to the right size. Now I can send it on its way. You can ignore that email, Rancia, but so I can just send it on the way like that. And now I've sent my email, and I never literally had to go into my inbox. That's Gemini. That's a general kind of walkthrough on how you can use it. Again, there's a lot more that you can do with it, but of course, this is an hour-long training, and then I have a boot camp coming up anyway. I'm gonna be doing a boot camp starting actually my boot camp starts next week. I'm only letting 10 people in the boot camp, simply because I just did one a couple of months ago and I had 13 people in it. I want 10 in this one because I want to be able to spend time individually with people. I want to be able to make sure that you're doing your homework correctly and all that kind of stuff. I know there's a couple of people on here right now tonight that was in the boot camp that wrote out very lengthy ebooks. It worked for them. I'm going to be doing it, but this time it's going to not just be ebook. It's going to be general marketing content and things like that as well, if you're looking to create resource guides and lead generation tools and all of that stuff. And to register for that boot camp, I'll show you guys at the end how to do that. I've got a scan code that you can use to do that. But right now, I'm going to move over to the next thing, because I said I was going to go over also the email campaign AI system and also the marketing tool system as well. So how many of you guys go in the chat for me, right? And put email, just type the word email in the chat, if you are a person that writes sales emails, you need to do email campaigns, but you don't want to go through the headache of writing an email campaign, a 7 email campaign. You don't know what to say. You don't know how to put it together. If that's you, go in the chat and just put in the chat, just type the word email. Yeah, some of y'all got explanation points. All right, so we're gonna go to this is the software that me and my partner, and I don't know if my partner's on here. He said he was gonna be jumping on, but he's busy. So if you're on, Keith, if you unmute yourself and just say you're here, he may or may not be here, but my partner Keith, we have a AI software company, and this is one of the products that we have in our, you know, that we market. This one is in what do you call it, beta. So I have some people that are using it. Some of you guys on here maybe already be using this. I may have already given it to you to use it to get feedback and things like that, but it's not for sale. Our other product is for sale. This one is not for sale because we're still working out some kinks in it, right? So you can use a URL to do this, or you can use actual content, right? So I don't know everybody that's on here because I can't see everybody, unfortunately. All right, so let's take something from here. So what I like to do when it comes to using a URL is I try to use a place that I use one of the pages as opposed to the entire website. Because when using the entire website, again, now AI is using all of this information. So I wanted to do it where it's going to be a little bit more precise. I think I've got let me see. All right, so I use something like this. It's wordy, so I can use something like this. Let me see if I can use this. All right, so I'm gonna copy the URL and I'm gonna go over here and see where it says content source URL, or I can use enter content. I'm gonna go to URL and I'm just gonna drop the URL over here like this, right? And then email prompts. Now I'm saying, what kind of email campaign am I looking to do? A 24-hour flash sale? Is it going to be a 48-hour flash sale, just 2 emails, a 7-day launch? Because you may be launching a product or you may have something coming out. Is it going to be agency prospecting? Is it going to be a B2B partnership outreach? Right? Is any of those things. I can choose any of those. And when I choose, now I can choose an individual email if I want. I can say, I just want to do email 1, or I can say B2B partnership outreach. And it's going to drop all of the emails from that sequence in there automatically, right? And then I can go over here and I can name that title. And I'm just going to name it Dr. A campaign, like that. And then what you will see is with any of our AI products, me and Keith's AI products, our products are based on ChatGPT. So that is our overlay, ChatGPT. So whenever ChatGPT comes out with another one, 4 or 5, any of that, we have them here. You're using those in our system to do whatever you need to do, right? So I'm gonna use ChatGPT, right, which is our overlay. And then now, what tone do I want? Do I want a professional tone, a friendly tone, an empathetic tone, a persuasive and enthusiastic, inspirational? What do I want as a tone? If I choose motivational as a tone, I can say I want the emails to be short, long, or medium. And then I can put special instructions here. That could be who the email is coming from, where the email is going to. Throw a registration link inside the email. So if I say, and I'm just going to grab any link and say, please use this registration link. And then I pretty much got set my campaign up. And then I click and I kind of just wait. And what it does is it'll create each one of these emails for that campaign. See how fast that happened? It's already on the second email, right? Already on the third email. So if I needed these 4 emails for this particular campaign I wanted to run, and I had a CRM that I was going to send them through, now all I'm doing is copying and pasting the emails that was created right here in the system. So it's got a subject line for me already. Your journey to success starts here, right? Dear recipient. Now it says dear recipient's name. But if in special instructions, I would have said the recipient is Adele Green, it would have said Adele Green. If I said it was coming from, right, Keisha, it would have said it's coming from Keisha with this company name and this phone number. So I could have put all of that in there and it would have put it inside of the content for the email, right? So it's down here. It's got IGA Inc. team because what? I did it from her URL from her website. So do you see what this has done? This has created an email, and I didn't even give it content. I gave it the web page of her website and said, create a 4 email partnership campaign. And it did that for me. Right? And it's worded greatly, right? At IGMA, we believe in the power of collaboration and have recently embarked upon exciting partnerships with Church on the Road, First Coast Community Development, and TBD Coaching. These collaborations align perfectly with our mission and vision, and we encourage you to explore their respective services by clicking on their links on our homepage. Their expertise and resources will be undoubtedly amplify your collective efforts. Now, again, I've got an introduction and value proposition email. I've got a detailed benefits and case study email. I've got an invitation to discuss collaboration email, and I've got a follow-up and additional information email. So I've got 4 emails that was created in the campaign that's meant to go together. These have been drawn up by the software, and all I put in there was the URL of the page that from our partnership page. Just that simple, right? Workflow again, creating a quick and easy workflow. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pull S. Bob. Thanks for joining us, Stephanie. And I am going to go here because Stephanie is in Legal Shield. And let's say that this was a Legal Shield situation. Now, again, I can just use the URL again, but I'm not going to use the URL this time because I want to do it a different way, just so you guys will see a different way of using the system, right? So if I'm here on her site and I'm wanting to send something for small business, right? I'm gonna click on small business. Now, I could simply use the URL from her small business site. That would be the simplest way, but I like to detail things. So if I particularly want to send an email concerning this particular membership that she sells, I'm going to just highlight that content, copy it, run to my email crafter and say, small business legal services campaign. And I'm going to change this from email to enter content. I'm going to drop that content in there. I'm going to leave this the same. I'm going to change my email prompt. And I'm going to say, I want to do a 7-day launch email series. So hold on, let me get rid of all those because I think I added those to my series as opposed to. Right, so now I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna say 7-day launch email. I'm gonna leave this here the same, right? Just for the sake of instructional. I'm gonna leave that down there just to leave it down. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get that out. Let me get that. So now I've got this information, and I can say copy. I'm gonna run back here for special instructions. I'm gonna say, please use this as the website link to enroll in the program. And then I'm gonna click generate emails after I drop the link. And I'm gonna see what it does. And now it's creating a 7 email campaign selling that small business plan, that particular small business plan. Now all I gotta do is send those emails out to wherever I'm sending them to, right? So early bird sale, feature benefit, discount coupon, scarcity email, urgency email, FAQ email, last chance email. And now what it's doing is, yes, BG Howard, you would. I just saw what you put in the chat. Absolutely. Like how faster of a way can you create a 7 email campaign with your particular product in it, right? For whatever reason that you want to send this out, have it created for you, and now you've got these all done. And right, and let's say, for instance, I said this is Sunday morning. I'm not sending no emails out today, but I'm creating my campaigns for next week. I can create all these emails. Click Save All. See that over there? It just saves them in the system. That whole 7 email campaign is inside the system, right? I can go back there and send it whenever I want to. But these are the particular emails that it sent. Let you know what the membership does. If these emails are too long, you could say you want to short them, you want to edit them, you want to do any of those different things to the email. You have ability. You can regenerate the email. You can rewrite the email, right? So if I now go to my dashboard, now I can edit this email right inside the system however I need to. So small business legal service campaign, it saved it. I can now go over here to view the emails. And it has them all here. Now I can edit them however I choose to. Change the names in there, bold things I want to bold, add links in there if I want to, change the size of the words. Anyway, any editor that you would be doing this anywhere else, you have the ability to do it all right here. Put your company name, your name. You could have put it in special instructions, or you could do it right here, but you have the ability to do all of those things right here inside the system. Right? I can download it as more of like a PDF type file, all of those things right here if I chose to, or I could simply just copy this and take it to my CRM and I could drop it in there. So this is a email campaigner that will allow you to do that. Not only that, if you're saying, I already know the kind of email campaigns I would like to write, you can actually do that yourself. So where it says email prompts, you can create your own campaign and then put whatever product you want in there, and it'll write it out based on the campaign that you created. So these campaigns that I showed you, these are campaigns that our developer put in the software just because they did it. But if a person says, I want to create my own, and they have the product, all they have to do is go to email prompts, and they can go in there and they can create their own email campaign, like verbalize what they want the email campaign to do, how many emails they want in the campaign. And then now once they've created that campaign style, now they can drop whatever content or URL in there and they can get to do whatever they want. Does that make sense to everybody? All right. So last thing, it's 9:02. I got one more thing I want to show you guys here before we close out. The other product, and some of you guys, I know some of you guys have this already because you just bought it, and some of you guys have it because you got it when you guys were in my boot camp I did in September, my AI boot camp in September. So this overview that I'm giving you guys now, this is just a general overview of what the kind of things that I'm going to be going over in the boot camp. Inside the boot camp, it's going to be literally 4 weeks, 2 hours a week on a Tuesday night. So it's going to be 8 hours of training, and I'm going to show you how to create content, but I'll get to that here in a second. This same thing, we've got a YouTube channel that shows you different ways you can use it. This is your marketing module, So same thing. If I went to this same website and instead of saying, hey, well, I don't want to use this, I'm just going to use the URL. I'm going to copy the URL, and I can go here to the marketing software, and I can say enter URL, drop it here. I can choose whatever model I want, right? It has, and when GPT-5 drops, it is going to already be in our system because we're paying for it to be in there because this is our overlay, right? So I can go to ChatGPT-4 and I can use whichever one I want to do whatever it is I'm trying to do, right? So I'm going to go ahead and choose this one, and then I'm going to select my task. This is giving me all the options of the things that I can do with that content. What do I want to do with this small business information? Do I want to do a promo email? Do I want to create marketing bullets? Do I want to do a bio, right? If somebody has a website with a bio of themselves on their website, please put that in the chat. Put the link to your website in the chat so I can go to your bio, so I can turn your bio into a brand story real quick while we're on this training. So promo email, marketing hooks. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I did marketing bullets. Let me stop that. So, oh, by the way, what it just did right here, so you guys all know, this is what we call a brain dump. It literally is creating marketing for every aspect of what we do based on just that URL. So it is literally right now creating marketing hooks, a promo email, a Facebook ad, a blog, a LinkedIn ad, a Google ad, a Twitter post, a sales generation letter, product description writer. It's creating a press release for the company. It's doing the Instagram caption, webinar interview. Invitation. So let's say you're saying, I do webinars for my company. You can put the content in there or the URL for your site and hit webinar invitation. It will create the invitation. Then when you go to Zoom, you just copy it from here and drop it in Zoom. Now you don't have to create a description. Ebook intro section writer. You see how fast it's doing that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's already created 14 pieces of marketing for that URL already, right? Product review, video script writer, push notification creator, chatbot script designer, YouTube video description, brand story, event invitation, FAQ compiler. And if I scroll down, it is literally creating all those things and labeling it. So this is a promo email that it created for that small business plan. And all I would have to do is copy that, drop it in my Gmail account or my CRM and send that bad boy off, right? Same thing, marketing hooks, Facebook ad. It's literally just dropping them all here. And when it's done, again, let's say, for instance, you're not ready to do all this stuff yet, but this is your product. This is your website. You go ahead and click that. You create it all. And then I can come right down here to the bottom after it's done. And I can save it all. Well, it's not going to let me save it all because it's not done yet. But when it's all done, it's going to say save all, and it will literally organize it in a folder. What I love about our software is where ChatGPT and Gemini allows you to save things in the left-hand column. Our actual software allows you to put your things in folders and categorizes it so that you can go back in an organized fashion and use it whenever you choose to, right? So now that it created all that, I can click Save All. And I can say title, small business, legal service marketing campaign, right? That's the title of the campaign. And then I can go down here and I can either see if I already have a folder for it already. Do I? May already have some here. I do not. So I can say new folder name, PPLSI small. Did I spell that right? No, I can't spell tonight. Small business legal folder, right? And then I'm gonna save that content. Now, all 33 of these marketing campaigns have just gone into a folder that I can go to later on to look at them. But this literally did every campaign that we have because I kind of brain dumped it. So if I go down to FAQ, right? Say, for instance, you wanted to do an FAQ on the small business plan, it created it for you, right? What is Legal Shield Small Business? It explains it. How does Legal Shield Small Business work? It explains it. What are the benefits of small business legal? It explains it. What plans are available? It explains it. So it created a Q&A for you based on nothing but the URL for the site for that particular product. Right? So now let me see if somebody put that. Looks like Elijah did. So now let me go to Elijah's site. Thanks for putting that in there, Elijah. So what this is going to do is, this is right about us. So I'm going to literally take Chummy's Organics, which is his website, and Elijah sells CBD products. So if you need CBD products, Just go in the chat and let him know because he sells them. Quick plug. So this is his site. And so I'm gonna take his about us. I'm gonna go here, right? I'm gonna say enter text. And I could have done URL. I'm just doing it differently so you guys see a different method, right? I'm gonna drop this in here. I'm gonna drop a space here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, I want to do a brand story because that's the bio. But let's see if I can jazz it up just a little bit and do a brand story here. And then I'm gonna click submit and see what it writes out. And this is the verbiage that it pulled it from. So this is his about us. And what it has turned his about us into is this. It created a story. And we all know what stories sell, right? So now if you have a regular bio that says, I'm from this place, blah, 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 you may have this bio that's really your life, but it's kind of dry, right? Because somebody may not want to read just that verbiage, that resume type bio. You can drop it in brand story and it will literally create a brand story for you. And now you've got a little bit of a jazzed up scenario here. So this is for the next training. So if you guys are saying, hey, look, I want to be in that Gmail workflow system training, peak productivity. I got right down here what's going to happen in that training. Gmail time saver settings, Gmail labeling for success, filter automation, Gmail control, showing you how to use the 5 inboxes so that you never have to leave your inbox to get done with things you need to get done. I'm gonna show you how to get your inbox down to 0. I'm gonna show you a one-touch system where you can go inside your email and never leave the email that you're in to clear your inbox, right? I'm gonna show you how to schedule yourself to look at your emails at particular times instead of having the inbox open all day long and it distracting you, right? So just total Gmail control. That's what that's for. You can either use this code right here. I mean, go to your URL and put in tbdcoaching.net/Gmail chaos to control, or you can just scan that QR code with your phone and it will open up right in your phone to register for that right through Zoom. This is another free training. I do a free training once a month. So this one is Tuesday, May 7th at 8 p.m. I typically do them on Tuesday nights. That's when I do my training. So that's how you can register for the next training ahead of time. And the boot camp, that's what this is. The boot camp is $199. So for people who just took the last boot camp, it was actually 16 hours and it was $299. So if anybody on here took that and can mention anything about what they got out of it, that will be very helpful. But it's $100 less, but it's 8 hours instead of 16 hours. And it is pretty much hands-on. You are going to have homework assignments. You see right here what it says here about what we're going to be going over, generally speaking. Now, all of these weeks have more information than this. This is just the title of each week. AI foundations in content crafting, content creation and branding power, content design and marketing strategies, and the email mastery, automation, and monetizing your ebooks. So these are all things that we're going to be talking about over that 4-week boot camp. And that boot camp is going to start next week. If you ask me why I'm starting it so soon after mentioning it here, is because I'm only accepting 10 people in it. So I didn't need a whole bunch of time to advertise it because I don't want more than 10 people for the boot camp, just simply because it's kind of a setting where we're on Zoom and I want to be able to walk people through, especially ones that's doing the ebook. I want to be able to spend time to talk. When we did the last one, we spent time engaging, going into breakout rooms, creating content during those 2-hour sessions. So it is going to be 7:30 to 9:30. So it's 2 hours every Tuesday night over 4 weeks, starting on April 9th, which is next week, next Tuesday. So if you want to be a part of this boot camp, same thing here. Scan this right here. When you scan it, it will take you right in to pay for it. Or you can use tbdcoaching.net/AI Domination Bootcamp. You can put that in your URL and it'll take you there as well. So that you can get registered. Once you do that, you will start getting emails automatically that will tell you how to prepare for the boot camp. You're going to get a phone call from me between now and next week to ask you some questions about what's most important for you to do within the boot camp for yourself. If you want to know how to brand yourself, enhance your branding or develop your branding, right, using AI. If you want to know how to do the email campaigns, use the email campaign or use the marketing strategies software to help you do all of those things, and then use Gemini to help lay out your work. You can do that. So there's a couple of people who have moved from that to creating courses, and I'm showing them how to create courses, how to create the outline, how to source your information, how to do all of those things so that you can create courses that you can sell online and use Gemini to do that. I don't use ChatGPT. Nothing wrong with ChatGPT. The only reason I don't use it is because unless that person has the paid version, you're not getting any information newer than 2021. And the problem is, if you're writing an ebook in 2024, if you're creating a course to sell in 2024, you probably don't want to use a software that's only going to give you information from 2021 and before. Now, if you have the paid version of Chat, it will give you newer information, but Gemini will give you newer information for free. So while I believe in value and quality and spending money when you need to, if there's no need to spend the money to have a software that's going to do it, then I would say use the one that's free. Gemini is free, so you can use that. Our software, the marketing software that I just showed you guys, is $19.97 a month. I know some of you guys have it. If you take the Bootcamp, if you're planning on taking the Bootcamp, don't buy the software now, because if you take the Bootcamp, you're going to be able to get the software for $9.97. Whenever somebody takes the Bootcamp, we give them the software for $10. So don't buy it ahead of time if you're planning on joining the Bootcamp. Join the Bootcamp, and then you'll get it for $10 less than what you would get it for without that. So I would hold off on that if that's what you're planning on doing. And I am done.